All right. We're going to put that right there. All right. And then the 3 cards that we're pulling today are going to be physical, mental, and spiritual. Okay? These are things that are going to be going on for you physically, mentally, spiritually. Okay? So your physical card is, let's see. Okay. The 4 of Swords. That's funny that we get this card because in this deck, the only fault this deck had when this was the first publication was this card didn't have 4 of Swords written on it, which, you know, no big deal to me. But it's funny that you guys get that, and that's the first card I actually pull in a reading. So cool. Synchronicities. Okay, and then we have the 5 of Pentacles. Okay, and then we have the Queen of Swords. Okay, I hope you guys can see all that. Let me move this. Let's talk about this. I'm going to get these lined up for you. I figure you guys would like a change of pace looking at the cards instead of looking at my face all the time. Especially these cards, you kind of need to see them a lot. Alright, so let's go into the Servant. Okay, and this is a part of your personality that is acting up or is highlighted, okay, or has become prominent or stands out this month for you, okay? And being an Aries, you guys are kind of adrenalized people anyways, so you're kind of like running here, running there, doing... This reminds me of somebody that I know, actually, that's an Aries. And it says, the light attribute is to delight in serving others with a free and loving heart, okay? And the shadow attribute is using lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life. Okay. So for some of you, you might be saying, both of those are issues for me right now. I'm running around like a chicken trying to serve everyone, and I'm not feeling like it's such a happy heart right now. That could be part of what's going on for you. Or you could be loving this. You could be doing this and you know, maybe you have some neighbors that are in need, like I do, and you feed them. Or, you know somebody who needs a little extra hand after surgery. Or, you know, it's that helping hand. It's the doing for. It's the mothering. It's the servant with a smile. Without it, not a servant... For those of you who get offended by that, don't. It's not the servant in the way that it sounds. It's like it's two things. It's servant leadership and it's nurturing. Okay, and so the servant leadership is kind of like you run the house, but you know the kids wake up and you got breakfast on the table and their favorite shaped pancakes, or you know what I mean. It's that extra thought, that extra care. You did it without having to be asked. So it's not like a servant where it's like, do this for me, you know. But sometimes it could feel like that if you're not, you know, making sure you're doing it with a loving heart. It says something that my somebody that I know and love told me a long time ago was, don't do anything that you can't do with a happy heart. So there's very few times in life where you can do something better than when you can do it with a happy heart. So there's love in your work this month. Okay, this could mean many things. For those of you who are dealing with the negative side of it, it says using the lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life. That tells me maybe like a little bit, for some of you, maybe a little depression or a little bit of feeling like you're in a catch-22 with a situation, okay? I have to do this, and the other, and I have to change jobs, but I can't change jobs until I do this, so I'm back and forth, okay? So it's kind of like feeling defeated before you even try. Okay, so don't do that this month, all right? So let's keep this in mind with every card that we pull, okay? Because this is your backdrop. This is, you know, this is the fragrance in the air this month, okay? And it's important that you know that you must do everything this month with a happy heart, because we live in a world that's so commercialized and so just ruined with profit over people. So when we're able to show the ones that we love them in ways that maybe if you don't have money, the lack of money, maybe you have a lack of money, which most people do, maybe that is making, you know, you instead turn it into a positive thing and say, you know, I don't have the money to buy Christmas gifts, so I'm just not going to go to Christmas. No, you're like, but hey, I can make something from the heart, and it'll make them happier. They'll love it more, and it'll be free. So, you know, it's like do what you can with what you got. But you might be doing a lot of serving this month. And what this also could mean, because this is a general reading, is there might be someone around you who might come into a situation where they need you to nurse them a little bit, or serve them a little bit, or, you know, take care of them. Okay? So someone could get, you know, a little cold or something, you know, or just feeling blue. Okay? And if that person is you, you need to make sure you reach out to those you love and, or, you know, self-nurture, okay? Let's get into the physical, the mental, and the spiritual, okay? And when I say spiritual, it's not just your individual spiritual beliefs. Okay, that's not going to come up in the cards. About it could. But when I say spiritual, I mean what you're learning in this big, huge book of life that we're living in, okay? What's your next step? Because this is not, what purse am I going to be buying in your physical? This is not a superficial reading. So just an FYI, I don't do those kinds of readings. I don't get into the superficiality because I feel like I'm doing a disservice to people if I do that. So, you know, it's always fun to do fun things, and I do randomly do some spur-of-the-moment fun things, but this is more like spiritual growth, okay? This is your mental state. This is your emotions, your thoughts, this is air and water, okay? This is your emotions, your thoughts. This covers that whole category of what you think equals how you react equals how you feel about it, okay? And this is physical. This is what you're going to be doing, okay? And what's your environment, okay, for December. So over here with the healing, this is sticking out to me because we have the servant. So some of you, Aries, you might be like a nurse to somebody. You might go stay with somebody and help them, maybe after a surgery. You might be staying in and healing yourself, okay? Being service to self, okay? That's so important. It's so important. Especially if you have others who depend on you like this. You have to serve self at least once in a while and keep yourself going because other people depend on you, okay? It's very important, and it's not selfish. And if you needed me to say that, well, there you go. And December, it says dormant, pause, wait, delays, okay? This is the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords, to me, it just speaks to being so like it's almost like you want to do mental shutdown, because it's like when your computer gets overloaded and it starts like going real slow, or you know, things like that. It's better just to shut it down and let it chill, cool down, restart, you know, or to sit on something, you know. This month, this is a lot of inward, 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 and it's December. So obviously, you know, it's the darkest month of the year. It's the, you know, it's the time to go inward. It's the time to pause life for a moment. But another thing that you have to remember, because it is the Four of Swords, and that helps you, the resting, the healing, the rejuvenation, the pausing. It says quiet, rest, delay. All these things are for a reason. You have to remember that. So it's not like you're just going to not feel like doing anything. It's going to be a purposeful pause, a purposeful delay, and some well-needed rest. But something I want to tell you about the 4. You know, 4 is very square, okay? It's foundation, it's structure, it's being solid, okay? But something I'm picking up here, just that's not even on this card, is that being so solid in the dormant is sticking out, okay? So, like the foundation of dormant. So it's like if you are a person who, when you go through something, you want to shut it down a lot because either it's too much to deal with, it's too stressful, it's too hectic, or it's too painful, and you go dormant, it's like, it's good to do this, okay? And they're saying that you will do this. It's not like you should do this, you can do it. You're gonna do this, okay? But physically, you need to only do it for a little while, okay? So keep it temporary, because dormant, if you think about the word dormant, when a tree goes dormant, or a plant goes dormant, or, you know, seeds can be in the ground for like 3 years and go dormant, some of them. And so what that means is that it's going under, but it's gonna reemerge. It's a cycle. It's not just the underneath, okay? Because that would be like death, okay, or like a complete shutdown, okay? This is kind of like dormant. What does dormant mean? Dormant doesn't mean dead. It means stowed away. It means locked up tight for a minute, okay? And if you just do it however long feels good, but not excessively, you'll get the most out of it this month. I'm feeling like it's good to do, but don't overdo, okay? Do just the right amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 days, okay? And so, and keep it to that, but know that part of your healing is the other part of the dormancy, not the going in, but the coming out, okay? Because to go, you know, to be dormant, it signals a whole cycle of going in and coming back out. And, you know, surviving through a long period of time. So what does that tell me? That tells me whatever you're going in for, whatever you're healing from or resting from or delaying, is something that is not, you know, it's something that's going to be better once you get time to sit on it, okay? It's going to feel better. It's going to be healed, okay? And you're going to have a better position to move forward, okay? Now, let's talk about the 5 of Pentacles. So with the 5 of Pentacles, for me, this card means a little bit different for me than it does, you know, in general. But I'll give you both. So obviously it's, you know, hardships, poverty, maybe some illnesses, or, you know, lack, okay? And I really feel like with this card, for me, it's more like you might be passing something by, and because you're stuck in your lack mentally. Remember, this is a mental card. And then you have to keep in mind, we have this that also says using lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life. So this, to me, in this card, always signals opportunity. And the opportunity to go in, the opportunity to become warm, the opportunity to be healed, helped, and fed, okay? And so when I see these people walking by, it's either one of two things. It's getting, like, on with, you know, your thoughts, saying, I'm going to pass this up, that's not what I want, it's not exactly how I want it. That pentacle should be here, this one's here. Oh, they just don't know what they're doing, I'm just going to go on, you know. And it's like, give things a chance. So, mentally, you need to give some things a chance. Emotionally, okay, because remember, this is all about what goes on in your head. This is like, not spirituality, and not physicality, but everything else. So, your mental state, your thoughts, your emotions, okay? And, how you feel, okay? And right now, it seems like you feel like either you're not good enough, you don't have enough, or you're somehow, you know, victimized here. And what this could be is it could be money, because we have the servant card, okay, and it says the lack of money. So for some of you, it's like you're not going anywhere. You're just going to keep on going in circles around this block because you don't have money, and you think it might be shame, it might be pain, it could be low self-esteem, many things, okay? But why you're not taking this opportunity, going in here and getting what you need, because it's available, okay? So if what you are thinking about, for some of you, this might be friendships or family relationships. And so with that, it's kind of like, take opportunities. Try to come up with an understanding of the situation that allows you to accept it for what it is, but still be positive for both people. Because the thing about this card, the message I'm getting that has absolutely nothing to do with this, is that, you know, in order for you to win, somebody else does not have to lose. Okay, so write that down for the month of December. In order for you to win, somebody else does not have to lose. And in order for somebody else to win does not mean that you've lost. Okay, if somebody else is getting recognition, it doesn't mean that you don't deserve it and you shouldn't get it, and, you know, or that you're unworthy. Okay, I just had to pop that in there. But, you know, with this Five of Pentacles, it's feeling low, feeling lack, feeling hardship. It says outcast. You know, maybe this is because you don't feel welcome here. Maybe there's a situation in your life, use this as the window as your situation. Maybe this is a situation in your life, okay? And you feel like an outcast. You feel like you're not welcome here, so you're just going by, even though you can hear the music and the love and the laughter, okay? So this is kind of like where your head's at, where your emotions are at, okay? So what do we do? How do we make this positive? It's do things you normally wouldn't do, accept things you normally wouldn't accept. If there's anything in your life that has to be perfect, or that you just stress yourself out to make as close to perfect as possible, or that you're needing rest from, or that you're lacking, there's something, and it's not just money, it's something you might be lacking, okay, that's causing you to have to rest. But see, you're just going to go back, forth, rest, hurt, rest, feel better, and hurt, rest. You know what I mean? It's like a vicious cycle here, okay? So you got to break that. And you have to, you know, you have to see that this lack is only being allowed to make you feel like this because you allow it to, okay? Because maybe somebody told you that's how you should feel, or maybe somebody, you know, maybe you went through some abuse or something where you felt like you're not good enough and you need to shut down, or, you know, this could be many things, but don't look just at the poverty and think just money. Because this card is, it's an attitude, okay? It's not, this card is not even a physical action. This is more like an attitude towards physicalities, okay? So this just tells me you're feeling like crap and you're going to take a rest, okay? In December. You're going to really, it's, for you guys, I think it's, instead of, because you guys are very adrenalized, like the servant, okay? Always running around helping everyone. Or always running around getting things done. Or always running around with lists and, you know, couponing and this, you know, that's part of who you guys are. And it's a beautiful thing. But, you know, you have to understand, too, that the resting is good, but that not every month has to be go, go, go. And if there's ever a month to take a good rest, it would be December, because there's nothing good to do outside anyhow. At least not where I live. So, let's move on to your spiritual. Okay, and you got the Four of Swords. Alright. And, so here we have, this says shrew, chatty, sociable, and cutting. Okay. So the way I feel about it is that with this spiritual card of the Queen of Swords, it's kind of like, you know, I'm not going to place a person on it, okay? I'm staying away from that. I'm going a little bit deeper, and I'm going to say that this is going to your very core of spirituality, and in taking a little sample of your spine, okay, the spine of your spiritual core, okay? You're taking like a little, like, what do they call that? Spinal tap, okay, or something, where they take a little bit. And what you're doing with that is you're seeing, is this made up of completely foundation, you know, foundational things? Because is what I think equal to who I am? And if what I'm thinking is wrong, does that mean I'm not my true self? Okay. And to the main extent, you are your true self. But there's little things that you can find that we place in our foundations, that we, you know, mix in with that concrete of our foundation, that you know, mortar. And sometimes those things are, they make us who we are because they're experiences, but sometimes we keep the negative inside too. So we need to look at whatever's making us feel like this, and we need to see where we stand spiritually with that. And we go into our core, we take the sample, and we say, hey, is any of this in here? Because if so, we got to get that out of here. And then maybe, you know, because first you have to feel better here, spiritually. Okay, then you have to feel, because once you have something that you're sure of, being who you are, what you want out of life, why you're here, what level you're on, will make your mind feel better, will calm your nerves, make your feelings feel fulfilled and happy, and make you feel calm and happy and free. And then after that, so spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, and you know, and your attitude, and then, you know, physically you'll start healing. Okay, so now for some of you who are like, yeah, I don't have a lot of money, but I'm never going to have a lot of money because my situation is that I'm on disability and it's a fixed income. Okay, well, it's not about making more money and having to this month make more money. It's how, because you can live just as happy on a very, just you know, just eking by, minimalist income, as you can on, you know, a $100,000 a year income. You can do more with the $100,000 a year income, but if you're in the right spiritual place, those are not the things that would interest you anyway. So you see what I'm saying? So once you can get past that, some of you might get past that this month, but some of you are really, really having a hard time going in spiritually and pulling out the ingredients of what is at your core. It's time maybe you did this a decade ago, or maybe you did this 5 years ago. But it's saying that there's time now, because now you're going to level up and you're going to get rid of some of this, and it's going to go, and then these will lift as well, okay?